his teammate Art of War Gundui, the man who took down 2 players by his lonesome. He's in the top left, accompanying him. Alternatives Aaron here in the bottom left as the red Protoss, and riding shotgun on his right is going to be Infinity's Revenant as the yellow Zerg once again. So the map is Ruins of Tarsonis, pretty easy naturals to take. Both mains have backdoor rocks to a third basically, and you do have these gold bases here with destructible debris and the Xel'Naga watchtowers next to them. And already we do see the advantage of the Terran and Protoss races just going to be able to basically make a wall in. I do like the Art of Warcraft pile-up placement right here. You can always warp in on the low ground as well as the high ground. Little thing, but not, yeah, it's cool. I like it. Leave me alone. Whereas Aaron is just going to have to deal, basically. He's not going to be walling off. He feels confident that he can manage his own SimCity around his base. And you know what? Both of these players of this high caliber can indeed do so. And it looks like that Aaron is going to be scouting around the main, just looking and trying to block some buildings, basically. He could block this barracks. No, he will not have the block in time. He's going to be taking down this SCV for the time being, trying to harass it. Another SCV being pulled. And it looks like from the Art of War side, Kraft is going to be their scouting party. Sending out the probe across the map. Should be just spotting... No, he doesn't opt to block the hatchery. And Revenant does go for the early expand, which we did see him do last time on this map. And that basically did work very, very well against Alt Jim Diddy and WV Maximus, that's his name. Cool. Gateway Gas. Expect to see the Cybercore. There it is. And the story really is going to be if he stops after 50 gas, I would expect him just to keep mining gas. You know what? He showed off the first trick early on with this wall off. The same sort of proxy pylon stuff isn't going to work. And Zealots just aren't going to cut it. So expect him to take up the gas, keep it mining, possibly even take the second assimilator if he wants to go more sentry heavy. And Revenant guiding up his spawning pool in time. Let's pull up the production tab. Old Command just being completed right now. And the Marine picking off the scouting worker from Aaron, I believe. And Cybercores from both players finishing at about the same time. And Chrono Boost being used. And very, very nice timing. Basically, he saved up a lot of Chrono Boost so that he can continually Chrono Boost out the warp gate, getting it as soon as possible. And the expansion is currently up for Revenant, so it's currently sitting on 2 hatcheries. So the Protoss 1 base, Protoss 1 base, Terran 1 base, Zerg 2 base. Things are looking pretty even, I would think. No signs of any early pressure, really. Let's take a look at what Gundui is doing. He's currently got 3 racks out now, 1 with reactors, so possibly going for an early Marine Stim sort of combat shield push, alongside with the mass warp gate, the 4 warp gate from Kraft, so looking to put on some early pressure, definitely. Tech Lab going down, probably going to be getting out Stim. And a couple of scouting links coming out now. Actually getting the Serrano Craft Zealot, so a nice little piece of micro right there, pulling back the weak Zergling before allowing it to re-engage. And the Zergling does pick off the Zealot right there, 2 of the Zerglings on critical health. And the Stalker does push in, trying to get off some free shots on these Marines. The Marines do pull back. Stalker coming out now for Craft, and looks like the Aaron is going to pull back. So already putting on a lot of pressure right now. And these links are actually going to start going to work on these backdoor rocks. Gundui with a little bit of 6th sense right there, going to be putting up a supply depot just to spot it. But against these rocks with the 3 armor, these Zerglings are going to be doing damage 2 at a time. It's going to take ages, and without the speed upgrade, without a lot of lings, you're not going to be able to take that down very fast at all. But Aaron actually having a pile here on the right-hand side. Revenant's Overlord here, Kraft knows what's up though. He sees what his teammate has spotted, and does likewise, putting up 2 pylons in fact. Warp Gates has just finished for Kraft. Let's take a look back onto Singapore side, getting up his creep tumors and putting his Spinefall in a nice position right there, just to defend a little bit of the ram, not actually covering the whole of it. Should be repositioning that as soon as the creep spreads even further. And Aaron currently just sitting on 1 gas, getting up his 2nd gas right now, and that will have forced his that's basically the reason why his Gateway army is all Stalker Zealot. Not enough gas for those sentries at the moment. And finally, Revenant does indeed reposition his Spinecrawler. Keep in mind this pylon's still here. The Overlord will be able to spot for any units coming up if he does build another pylon right here, actually. But let's take a look at Craft's vision right now. He doesn't know that there's a pylon there. Looks like they're going to be going for a push right now, setting up his own proxy pylon. The probe does go up, gets poked in the face, and taken down abruptly. Craft is going to be advancing to the high ground, and these Marauders and Marines here on the low ground for Gundui. Not really with the army at the moment. A couple of Banelings on the field, but really this looks pretty tight. It's going to come down to the micro. Here we do have the Spine Crawl being focused. The Spearlings coming around the back hand side, getting off a full surround. The Banelings coming in here doing massive damage to those Marines. The Stalkers able to take down a lot of these Marauders along with the assistance of the Zealots. Craft Zealots being focused down by the Stalkers as well, and the Spearlings just cleaning up these Stalkers from Craft. And Art of War, things not looking good. Looks like they need to reread their book. And a lot of these Zealots being kited right now. It looks like that Craft is being forced to pull back at the moment. The Spine repositioning itself right there. And a lot of these Stalkers getting a lot of value out of them for the time being. These Speedlings actually going to be coming out here and taking down Proxy Pylon. No, they're going to be trying to take down the retreating units, which is a good choice. However, Zealots are not the optimal unit to take down. They want to be focusing down the Stalkers as they do not perform well against the Speedlings, and the Speedlings can actually just hold the units in there, slow them down in time for the Stalkers to catch up and basically one-shot any of the Gateway units retreating at the moment. And it looks like that Aaron and Revenant may be looking to do a huge push right here. The Terran army needs to mobilize here on the left-hand side if they want any chance, and it looks like they will. No concussive shells on the field at the moment. It looks like all the Stalkers do have a high ground village. Morphing into his Banelings here on the high ground, actually not even bothering, actually cancelling them and morphing them back into Speedlings as the army actually repels them for the time being. Craft falls GG. However, so it looks like that Revenant and Aaron are just going to be steamrolling through this tournament, advancing to the finals, taking out this series 2-0. And expect them to leave the game. Leave the game. Baneling speed has completed for Revenant, so... Alright, so it looks like a little bit of a preemptive GG right there from Art of War. And, bit of confusion, maybe. Not really thinking that they would be able to defend that. But, yeah, the Southern team actually did just pull back. And, yeah, let's take a look at the Army Food Counting Station. It's looking a little bit different. It's about 101 to 120 right there. So, a bit of a 20 food difference. In 2v2s, I don't think that is too much, as you can read macro extremely quickly. It looks like that Revenant's going to be taking a third base. And here, you know what? Art of War can't engage head-to-head, basically. The micro and macro and the food count, more importantly, is just in favor of Revenant and Aaron at the moment. They need to do something sneaky. They need to take down these backdoor rocks. They need to take up. They need some sort of advantage over this bottom team at the moment. I mean, Revenant has comfortably taken his 4th hatchery right now. He's able to fund that. He shouldn't be able to fund that. But indeed, that Art of War has allowed that, and Revenant actually putting a changeling in here with Art of Gnui's base, actually having an inconspicuous Zealot following the Terran army. And that's actually a good move right there. Gnui might think that it was a miss micro from Craft right there, and not really suspect it to be a changeling. However, if he put it to follow the Protoss army, then Craft would obviously be more aware that one of his Zealots wasn't following his commands. And yeah, it looks like we're going to be expecting to see the mutas coming out right now for Revenant. Of course, Gnui actually fielding a lot of Marauders at the moment. It looks like they will choose to engage. All the Banelings going down on some of the Marines. A few Marines left, but a lot of them being wasted on that Marauder right there at the front. And the Marines still in the fight, sort of. The Mutas forced to pull back the Gateway army, however, looks very intimidating. Immortal finally on the field for Aaron. Guardian Shield has gone up, and the Mutas going to be picking up units from the back end side while the Gateway army goes to work on these Marauders, just outnumbering them simply. The Zealots still stuck behind the Stalkers, which is a little bit of a miss micro right there, but these Mutas should pull back, let the Gateway army deal with it, and Craft just leaves the game. It has been GG for a while now, and it looks like that the series will be 2-0. There we go, just waiting for the GG, and finally we do have confirmation. Revenant and Aaron advance to the finals 2-0 against Art of War. let's check the brackets for the time being. Looks like just reloading. Just reloading the brackets. Okay, it looks like that GGSCV is going to be the other team. Have not heard of them, and actually I'm being invited to the game right now. So this is going to be the finals for the 2 vs 2 Weekly Open number 2, held by SC2C.com, hosted by Zergtastic and his partner in crime, Baka Inu. Finally, we do have the last games of the night. The teams are a little bit mixed up, but it looks like we're going to be having Alternatives Aaron, Infinite Revenant against Stimmed Probe, and Rink. So it's going to be ZP against TZ. And teams, 10 time, 8-4-5. Who's host? Stimmed Probe is host. Alright, cool. So thanks for sticking it out with me all the way from the start to the finish. This is my first live stream. Obviously, doing it solo is different from co-casting with Benji. Technical difficulties, content difficulties, apparently music difficulties, but that is that's relative. And we're going to be having the final match. Game 1 on Omega Sector. It is going to be a map that has been unseen for tonight, at least by me, by my old weary eyes. And Revenant staying ready, Aaron staying ready, Stimmed Probe, his team is all good, so we're going to be starting the game. The countdown has begun. This will be a best of 3 as it is the finals on Omega Sector between Stimmed Probe, Rink, Alternatives Aaron, and Infinite Revenant. And here we go, we're going to be loading now. So take a look at this map right there. We're going to be having a topside team on the top left and a bottom side team in the bottom right. Very fast naturals on the high ground here, as you can see. Looks like they're going to be sharing. Of course, if you have a Zerg body, it's going to be a little bit harder to share. And we do have a Xel'Naga Watchtower for each team. This map looks extremely large, actually. Logical thirds to take are going to be at these extremities right here. We do have high yields with some structural debris in the center, along with a Xel'Naga Watchtower in the center, surrounded by the steam vents. Once again, so in the north position for some of the last time, actually. Whoa, my mouse just went berserk. Sorry about that. Infinite Revenant as the yellow Zerg on the top side. Alternatives Aaron on the left side as the red Protoss. We've got Stimmed Probe on the southern side as the teal Terran. And Rink, the purple Zerg on the right-hand side. He is not purple Protoss. And both teams actually sending out their scouting workers at the same time. Aaron is going to be scouting the opponents, and Stimmed Probe is going to be scouting Aaron, and then Revenant. Things to note is that there's actually a shared ramp between both of these mains, and yeah, nothing too crazy. We open up the production tab, see only workers, no sign of any early rushes for the time being, at least. And it looks like that Aaron is going to be opting for the usual gateway instead of that 10 gate. Instead of the 10 gate, and Rink is going to be going 14 gas, going to be getting up his other drone, yeah, there we go, and getting up this spawning pool shortly. Revenant doing the same thing, and expect the spawning pools to go down pretty much the same time. There we do see Rink spawn in the production tab, and there goes Revenant. Stimmed Probe actually getting up his barracks right near. Going to be making a little bit of wall off. And yeah, a bit of a curious map actually, because where do you join your army to support each other? You need to actually loop around the side, and it's going to be quite hard to defend if the attackers focus down one opponent right here. So if they focus down Stimmed Probe's wall and all the units are forced to defend here, then they can just loop around and go into the Zerg main right like that. This is kind of like Blistering Sands, really, where the aggressor gets the advantage between these two chokes if he just keeps bouncing between the two. And there's also this high ground right here, actually, by the main, so yeah, a really curious play just to help spot, I guess.